Hi, everybody. So Tokyo Game Show is coming up in the very near future, and Koei Tecmo have announced that they are going to be appearing at this year's event. So we're going to be doing a little bit of a roundtable discussion with myself, Awesmic, and TheMadBelmont. Introduce yourselves, guys.
Hey, I'm August. Some of you DOA fans may know me better as the guy who did the Dare Live Lore Explained series the past 2 years. And also, I play DOA a lot. Mainly, my main is Christy. And basically, that's it. I just wanted to discuss and speculate on what could possibly happen and what could possibly not happen at Koei Tecmo's showing for TGS.
So I want to ask you something. How did you get into the Dead or Alive lore videos? What was your what kicked that idea off? What made you decide you wanted to do that?
My source of inspiration mainly came from how Dead or Alive 6 turned out story wise, and it made me want to like walk it back, see what drew fans to the characters of the past, and what did exactly they did different now that's turning people away or whatever. It turns out it's really not that bad. But yeah, the more I dived into this series, the more I started to appreciate some characters more that were probably hated by some fans. So yeah, it's been an exciting ride so far. Though I've been on a bit of a hiatus as of late, trying to get used to some new video editing software and coming up with new ideas on how to, while keeping things fresh for the series. Because I'm also
Nice.
doing a trivia series as well as a portion where we're going over the history of the guest characters. And on top of that, I'm trying to get some people involved as guests to help carry the weight.
That's going to be really cool.
Yeah.
So, I see a Belmont in the rafters. He's being awful quiet.
Yeah, what's going on, everyone? I'm the Matt Belmont. I usually cover Castlevania and Metroid and Metroidvanias and stuff like that, but Colin wanted me to come on because I have played some DOA with him in the past and some Soul Calibur and things like that, so he just wanted me to come on, speculate a little bit about Koei Tecmo and what they're going to show, so yeah, I'm here.
You're also usually the voice that people hear when I say something stupid in my videos.
Yep. I do a lot of editing for Colin here, and I love roasting him from time to time on stupid things that he says in his videos.
Alright, so Awesmic kind of knows more about what's been announced for the Tokyo Game Show so far for Koei Tecmo, so I'm gonna throw over to him and he can kind of say what has been announced, and then we can get into the meat of the speculation.
As it stands right now, the only two games they're focusing on is Fate Samurai Remnant, which is a spin-off of sorts of the Fate series, as well as the Atelier dang it, how do you pronounce that? Atelier Resleriana from the Atelier series.
I
Yeah,
pronounce it
that's
Atelier.
And I say
Atelier.
it Atelier, which is how I've always heard it said.
Oh man, okay. Yeah, I am not too familiar with that series. I mean, I know it exists, but I'm not into it per se.
Yeah,
Do
same.
you like RPGs at all, Osmic?
Yeah, of course I like RPGs.
Then you might want to try them out. They are actually a lot deeper and a lot more fun than you would actually think they are based off how Koei Tecmo advertised them.
Are they self-contained or is it far part of an ongoing narrative?
Kind of both, if that makes any sense.
Okay.
Basically,
Good
you'll be
start. What's a
playing.
good starting point?
Let me just explain how it's kind of first, and then
Okay.
I'll get into that. So, by kind of, I mean, like, you can basically pick up and play the first game in any kind of arc, and you'll be completely fine. But sometimes you'll see little references to previous games, or you'll meet characters who were in previous arcs, and it's just like oh, that's cool kind of thing.
Okay. So it's like Fire Emblem and Ys and those sort of
Yeah.
those series. Okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
But a good starting point, I would say, would either be Atelier Rorona or Atelier Ryza. I mean, any of the modern Atelier games, you can kind of jump in with, but I started with Rorona way back on the PS3, and I liked it. It didn't age as well as it should have, but then again, we're almost 2 console generations removed. Well, we are 2 console generations removed at this point. So I can kind of understand why some things did not age as well as they could have. Atelier Ryza, I like it, but I also wish that it had stayed traditional turn-based because that's what I'm used to with Atelier, and it's supposed to be a relaxing series, not a action-heavy one.
I see.
So I'm a little bit complaining about that, but it's fine. It's still enjoyable. Basically, they're games that you put on when you kind of want to just chill out. They're not really story heavy.
I got you.
What kind of RPGs do you tend to like?
Final Fantasy, Fantasy Star, Grandia. God, the list goes on. Let's see. Well, mostly Final Fantasy.
Oh, yes.
Fair enough.
Final Fantasy's my main series when it comes to RPGs.
So I actually have a video that I'm working on that I think both of you would be really cool to have on for that. It's going to be a JRPGs that pissed us off.
Oh, I got a couple of entries for that.
That pissed us off.
Sorry, what was
There
that?
aren't very many of them.
Fair enough.
There aren't very many of them, but I can tell you right now, Unlimited Saga was definitely one of them for a long time.
Yes, that was going to be mine.
Someone finally taught me how to play the damn game.
So I actually have some speculation on Atelier, so let's continue with that for a little bit.
All right.
Shoot.
I think that we're going to see a remaster of an older Atelier title, probably.
Yeah, because they just released the Atelier Marie remake not too long ago.
Yep. And I kind of could see them doing a pseudo spin-off where they remake some of the absolutely older ones, and maybe they will focus on the other spin-off to the Atelier series, or was it the other way around? I forget.
Collection?
No, Mia Chemia, I think it's called.
I'm not sure. I'm not too versed in Atelier. I'm trying to find a good starting point. I'm thinking about doing it with the Marie remake.
I wonder how good of an entry point that one would be.
From a couple people that I know in a Discord I'm in, they've played it. They've made videos on it. They say it's actually not a bad starting point. It's short. There's multiple endings that you can get based on things that you do. So
nice. But yeah, I could see that happening. I'm not sure which Atelier game they might remaster because there's like over 30 of them now.
Yeah, I didn't know that the Atelier series was that versed. Like, I didn't know that there was that many games in the series until I did some research, and I'm like, whoa, okay.
Yeah.
It's quite a catalog.
I cannot remember the name of that series, but it's something Chemia. Someone can tell me in the comments what it is. I can't find it on Google right now. I just know there were a lot of Chemia games on the PS2.
Okay, so what about this Fate game?
Got lunch meat, bread.
Yeah, I was just about to start with that.
That was completely out of nowhere. I'm gonna be honest with you. I wasn't expecting this at all.
I have no experience with the that particular franchise. I have a lot of friends who are absolutely obsessed with the series, though. That's about all I can say.
Yeah, I'm not too versed in Fate either. I literally hadn't even heard of it until I went, and when Awesmic sent us the website, I went on there and I'm like, what the fuck is Fate?
Any of y'all heard of Fate Stay Night from like over a decade ago?
Nope.
I've heard of that one, and I've heard of Fate Grand Order or Go or whatever it's called.
Yeah.
Because one of my friends, she is absolutely obsessed with it.
This particular game is set in a separate universe from that particular saga with Saber and the others.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, this is a completely fresh take on the Fate series.
That is going to be interesting. Also, I can now tell you what the name of the series I was thinking of was Mana Chemia. That's what it's called.
Mana Chemia.
Yeah, it's a spin-off to the Atelier series.
Okay, got it.
So, yeah, Fate, I don't know too much about this game, but I like samurai stuff, so mildly interested from that standpoint.
Yeah, I'm kind of intrigued by it.
Period and all that good stuff.
Have either of you played Ghost of Tsushima, since we're kind of on samurai stuff at the moment?
I've played bits and pieces of the game, never the entire thing.
No,
I've completed it.
Oh, sorry.
I've completed it, and it's one of my favorite games of all time.
I haven't even started it. Like, When it comes to open world games, I'd rather play
You're
that
burnt
type
out.
of. Yeah, I am way burnt out. I played the shit out of open world games. I think I played like 2 to 3 back to back from like late 2019 into mid 2020, and I just kind of
The Grand Theft Auto and Shenmue series spoiled me as well.
For me, it was Spider-Man, The Witcher, and Ghost of Tsushima that spoiled open world games for me.
Grand Theft Auto did it for me because I love Grand Theft Auto.
Particularly 4, but 5 actually had good multiplayer. I love the heists.
Yeah, dude.
I love doing the multiplayer heists. That's something I'll never get tired of doing.
I'm gonna be honest, I've actually never been able to get into the Grand Theft Auto games. I know they're supposedly pretty good, but I just haven't been able to get on with them, except for a little bit of 4.
Has good multiplayer. Stay away from 4. 4 is busted as fuck.
In what way is it busted?
Some good,
Rocket
some
launcher is
bad.
too strong. I mean, you can play that shit in custom settings if you want, but the rocket launcher is just way too strong, and the spawning points are bad.
Yeah, very
Gotcha.
bad.
The spawning system is very bad.
Unless you're
Gotcha.
going around in like free roam multiplayer with your friends, that's what I did. We went and we would basically run around the city, get like the strongest cars we possibly could, and then just have demo derbies with each other in an empty fucking parking lot.
You know what? That's a game series I wish would come back. I don't know if you ever played it on the PS1, either of you, but there was a series called Demolition Derby.
I played the PS2 version.
Damn, I never played.
I did not know they even had a PS2 version.
Yeah, it was Demolition Derby on PS2. I remember it. I rented it, and I had a lot of fun with that game.
See, I played Demolition Derby 2 for the PS1, which came out way before the PS2 was even a thing, and it was so much fun. Me and my dad would constantly rent it from Blockbuster. Anyone remember those?
Well,
Yes, I
I
remember that.
never had one in my area, but there was one like an hour away from me. So yeah, I remember Blockbuster.
I was mostly saying that for the comments section, because I was expecting someone to dunk on me for being an old fart. A grumpy old fart.
I'm older than you.
Great. And
I know,
now
but-
I'm the youngest one in the group. Again!
You always are. But there's the fact that people constantly joke that I'm the old man trapped in a middle-aged body, basically.
Which, I can't argue with that.
Yeah, there's a reason you call me George Carlin all the time.
I'll tell you, if you dye your hair white, I'm just saying.
And grow it back out again, because it's short again. But yeah, the Fate game, a little bit interested in it. Not super interested. I'll kind of wait and see on that one. What about you guys?
Yeah, I'm on a wait and see type of basis too. I'll probably pick it up if it's like on a super sale or something like that. But yeah, other than
There's
that,
a way
I'm
to
not
rent
really
it.
into
I'm going to rent it.
Gamefly.
I don't even know if Canadians have access to Gamefly.
Oh, wait a minute.
Canadian.
No, you might not. You might not. I hope you do, because if you do, that's a good way to do it.
I'm going to look that up now. You guys can ramble for a moment.
All right, Awesmic, I love the fact that Christy is your main. She's in my rotation for Dead or Alive. I actually discovered her through 6, and she's fucking awesome in that game.
Yeah, tell me about it.
Okay, so for right now, oh, go ahead. I'll cut in when you're done.
You have it on you have Dead or Alive 6 and 5 on PS5, correct?
PS4.
Okay, yeah, I could play in that one of these days.
Yeah,
just
I
gotta
have-
set up a date and time.
I have the Core Fighters versions of both.
Okay, just set up a date and time. We can get some matches in.
All right.
That is going to be really cool, and maybe we can stream that over on my Twitch channel.
Okay.
So, as I was saying, Gamefly only available in the States.
Damn.
I figured as such.
Yeah, me too, because we don't get some of these cool services, and we get price gouged for the services we do have.
Hey, y'all got Video Games Plus up there, though. Okay, that place
They
is...
do?
That fucking place is awesome. They do ship to the US, which is great, but they have a lot of limited release stuff on there. So if you're ever looking to buy something that was limited release, like a limited run game or something like that, check VGP out.
Or just
Okay.
Rare in general,
What about
because you can
import?
actually... they do some stuff. You can always email them and they'll try to help you out.
All right.
Would be cool if Video Games Plus would sponsor this channel. Just saying.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
All right, so since neither of us are really all that interested in, you know, what Koei Tecmo have announced so far, let's actually get into the more speculative side of things, since that is kind of what our main goal for this episode was to speculate on things. I'm going to have Awesmic kick off this conversation since he's the one who pitched this podcast's idea.
As far as what people really wanted to see, which is probably Ninja Gaiden and some DOA news at the Tokyo Game Show, I would not get my hopes up too high about it, about surprise announcements and shit, because it's way too soon. One, it's way too soon. Two, we're just getting a boom of good fighting games like Street Fighter 6, Mortal Kombat 1, and Tekken 8 as early as January of next year. So announcing a DOA game around this time probably wouldn't have as much of an impact as it would maybe in the next 2 years, when people are probably going to be anticipating something for their last 30th anniversary that's huge, like a new fighting game announcement. And a very well polished one at that.
I agree. I wouldn't be surprised though if we get a teaser trailer for Ninja Gaiden, since I think that leak that showed the, well, not whatever you want to call it, the thing where Dead or Alive and Ninja Gaiden were both announced and then de-announced. I get the feeling that was announced way too soon. I think that it was a thing that was probably meant to come out way down the line, maybe like early next year kind of thing. I think that was when they were kind of hoping to announce those projects, and they've just been playing damage control since.
To play devil's advocate, let's say they're not announcing a Ninja Gaiden, anything Ninja Gaiden related. The most realistic expectation we could have at this point is a gameplay trailer for Rise of the Ronin, which is due next month.
Which I'm actually kind of interested in that game. What about you guys?
I am as well.
Yeah, same.
I get the feeling people are going to call it a Ghost of Tsushima knockoff, but I don't get the vibes that it's going to be like that. I think it's going to have its own distinct flavor, and I think the combat's going to be vastly different.
Yeah, I mean, it could take that direction, and I would not be surprised if it does, but I think that they're going to do at least a little bit of innovation with it.
I mean, the samurai genre is, you can do a lot of things with that because we haven't had good samurai games in a very long time. Ghost of Tsushima was kind of the first one in a very long while.
Yeah, and not to mention you also have Sekiro Shadows Die Twice, which was originally supposed to be a Tenchu game, but then it ended up being its own thing.
I'm not familiar with Tenchu. What's that?
Tenchu is... it's a FromSoft game, okay? And it was in the PS1 and PS2 days, and it was like this samurai ninja type of game. You know, you were a ninja, and you were supposed to go around these levels stealthily, for the most part, and take people out. Now, I haven't had too much experience with this franchise, so if I described it in a poor way, I'm sorry, FromSoft fans, but you know, that's basically the gist of it, or at least what I got out of it anyway.
I don't know about you guys, but I've always sucked at stealth games.
Yeah, same. I'd be playing something like Splinter Cell and trying to do it, you know, in a stealthy type of way, and then one motherfucker spots me, and then I'm just like, okay, run and gun time.
I have almost always been like, okay, we'll be as quiet as possible for as long as we can, and then we'll go loud. And then at that point, I'm basically a heavy metal Viking berserker.
I honestly, I'm surprised about that, because you're usually like super aggressive, so I just thought you were always like Viking metal berserker dude.
Nah, I try to be quiet when I can in games that have stealth, because usually the game is like, yeah, this is going to be a much easier time if you can stealth this. So I'm like, yeah, we'll try to go easy, and then usually some dude way off screen spots me in some weird way, and then it's like, all chaos breaks.
I hate it when that shit happens. That always used to happen in Metal Gear Solid. Like, I'd be sitting there crawling around, getting in a box or something like that, and then some bastard off in the distance behind a tree spots me.
Was he taking a piss behind said tree?
9 times out of 10, yeah.
But seriously, in most stealth games, I tended to auto-fail just because of that stupid auto-fail if you get spotted. mechanic. I understand why it's there most of the time, but I still find it annoying.
I hate that mechanic. Like, if I'm spotted, just let me at least try to escape.
Yep. But yeah, I could see maybe a teaser for Ninja Gaiden dropping. I'm not expecting it, but I could see it happening potentially.
Yeah, I'd give it about a
3,
15% chance of happening.
that works. What do you think the percentage of it happening actually would be, Awesmic?
A Ninja Gaiden announcement at
Yeah.
TGS 2023,
Yeah.
5%.
I'm kind of around like the 3% chance of it actually happening, but if it happens, wouldn't be surprised entirely either, because I think it's interesting that Koei Tecmo are announcing this way in advance.
You know what would really surprise me?
What would really surprise you? And Osmec just dropped.
Ah,
Okay.
that sucks. Okay, well, let's...
Sorry, the damn computer just blanked out on me.
It's fine. Computers seem to love to cause problems.
All the time.
Anyway, as I was saying, what would really surprise me is if they just announced a DOA Master Collection out of nowhere and everybody got access to playing Dare Life 3 and Dare Life 4 online legitimately through any platform, including Steam. That's what would really shock me if they actually did that.
If that happened, I think that both of you would hear my screams from all the way in Canada.
Yeah.
The thing is choosing which version choosing which version is actually playable online, because remember there were 3 versions of Dare Life 3 and they all play fundamentally different. The vanilla version was out in North America. The Japanese version is called 3.1 and the European version is called 3.2. The fan favorite among competitive players is 3.1. So that might be the one that's actually playable online.
Gotta love when games were different and clunky in that way.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I'm hearing my voice now.
Yeah, we got an echo of some sorts.
An echo?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm hearing my voice too.
Hold on a second.
Okay. Yay, tech issues. I'm hearing no echo now.
Yep, same.
All right. Is it good on my end?
Not sure. We'll have to see how it sounds when I talk. I'm not hearing myself yet, so that's at least a good sign.
Okay.
I'm hearing no echo on my end.
I ain't got no echo on my end either. Okay, so we're good. We're good.
We're good.
Yeah.
So
I'm keeping this all in, by the way.
Okay. So why was it that 3.1 was the preferred version by the fans?
The reason 3.1 was the preferred version was because, one, it actually had true sidestepping, meaning moves that were intended to be linear were actually linear, and you could actually free step them. And the other thing is that if you hit a wall, you actually get guaranteed damage because the character's foot is off the ground.
Ah, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, and there were actual unholdable stuns as well that kind of inspired what how Dare Life 5's gameplay in general would turn out, minus the stagger and what was the other one? The stun minus its stun system. See, in Dare Life 4 and 5, they had a particular stun system where launch height depend on how deep the stuns were. But in Dare Lives 2, 3, and 6, it didn't matter how much you stun the opponent, you'll always get the same launch height every time.
And I'll be honest, of the Dead or Alive games I've played, which are Dimensions 5 and 6, 5 is my favorite.
Yeah, it's a very content heavy game.
Not only is it content heavy, but just the game feel of it is a lot better to me than the other ones. I can't explain why. It just feels right.
Yeah. They did a lot of things right, and to put it back on the map and stand toe to toe with even Tekken Tag Tournament 2 at the time.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that is saying something about how good it was and how
Which one
it would continue to become great later on down the line.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Which one is your favorite Dead or Alive game?
This might be a hot take, but 3.2.
Okay, why is 3.2 your favorite? I am curious now.
Well, it adjusted certain things from 3.1 where certain characters were overpowered, and Christy felt like she actually had a chance against some of the cast. But
Gotcha.
other than that, yeah, I could see the appeal of 3.1, but I personally prefer 3.2. But I also like 6 and 5 a lot. The problem is that the PC version of 5 is limited to only ranked lobby rooms. So yeah, I'm kind of out of luck with that one. But I still have it on PS4, so it's not a total loss.
Definitely. How about you, Belmont? Which version of Dead or Alive is your favorite?
Now, I only have experience with a little bit of Dead or Alive 3, 5, and 6. So, out of those three, for sure I have, believe it or not, Colin, I'm actually going to go 5 because I love the way Kasumi feels in that game. Kasumi's my main. And so, I love the way that she feels in 5. She just feels perfect.
And you've noticed in Dead or Alive 5 that I go traumatized fighter mode when you use Kasumi.
All I can say, whenever we play DOA 5, I try to stay away from Kasumi because fuck you in that game. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah, because I really abuse the crab walk.
Oh god, I hate Kokoro with a flaming passion because of that.
But yeah, my friend who got me into Dead or Alive, we started on 5, and Kasumi's his main, and basically that was my first fighting game, and he just kept laying the smackdown on me.
From a casual standpoint, I started on the first game when it came out in arcades. That was the reason. It was also the reason I wanted to get an import Saturn alongside Vampire Savior at the time. But I didn't really get into it competitively until around the time Dead or Alive 4 came out, and much of my time with the community was spent in Dead or Alive 4. But and I was there, and I was also there when Dead or Alive 5 came along, and now 6, and now we're just playing the waiting game on a new Dead or Alive fighting game at this point.
You know what? Let's transition this a little bit. Let's
Right.
discuss what our kind of wish list for the next Dead or Alive game would be. I know I've covered it a little bit in a past podcast, but that one was just between me and Mad, so let's get some of Awesmic's take on it.
Okay, there's two ways they can go around this. They could do another sequel, or they could do an actual reboot. And my thoughts on how they should do a reboot were explained in a video on my channel a while back. But to recap, if they do a reboot, most likely, they will probably use Nico. Nico will probably be the catalyst for this whole thing, and have her make some kind of time travel device. Because if she was able to create a dimensional portal, it's probably a no-brainer for her to do something related to time travel. And the reason she might be doing that is like a contingency plan in case Project Maria goes to shit and destroys the world, and most likely she'll want to go back in time to correct that mistake. And that's where the events of the first Dead or Alive appear, but she won't be like immediately involved in the whole thing, but the events will go as they did before. But instead of focusing on four Dead or Alive tournaments, there will only be 2. And the reason there should be like 2 tournaments is to give time for the character to flesh out the other characters in between the first tournament and the second tournament. The first tournament will be as it was with the original timeline. Kasumi defeats Raido, avenges his brother, all that shit. But the second and third Dead or Alive tournaments don't happen. But the second tournament turns out to be the fourth Dead or Alive tournament, which by that time the Tri Tower will be built.
That sounds really cool, actually.
Yeah,
I think they will definitely
4 tournaments in 1 year. That's kind of overkill.
Even King of Fighters doesn't go that hard.
Yeah,
No.
and you have a 2-year vacation in between the events of Dead or Alive 3 and 4 when things are about to go off the rails as far as Donovan's plans are concerned, yeah, two tournaments. That's it. Two tournaments in 1 year. That's reasonable, and that's plenty of time for character development on all the characters, so we can actually care about everybody other than the ninjas, and
I
maybe a
mean,
few characters here and there. But yeah,
I mostly cared about Hitomi, Kokoro, and Helena. Those are the only ones for me.
yeah. But as far as content's concerned, obviously I want what everything they did right with 5. I like to see come back. I want them to tone the DLC shit way down.
I think we all want the DLC shit turned way down in fighting games in general at this
Yeah,
point
because
because it is
those
getting
season pass.
absolutely
Yeah, start
ridiculous.
with the season pass prices. Those season pass prices. Yeah, never do that shit again. They
No.
really, if they haven't learned their lesson by now, they're gonna fuck it up. They're gonna fuck
Agreed.
it up again. It's gonna be dead within 2. Support's gonna be dead within 2 years again. But yeah, other new things I like to see them try out. Maybe a custom training stage.
That would be great.
Yeah, and what other things? Oh, taking some notes from other fighting games, like 2 ways of implementing frame data besides numerical. They should have they should do what they did with Street Fighter 5 and 6, where they have a meter that shows the advantage and disadvantage. I like to see that applied. I like to see a punishment training mode like they did with Tekken 7. So you'll actually learn how to punish certain strings and all that stuff.
That's a
That would be
great idea.
nice. Yeah. If they implement all those things and keep that same energy they've been doing with the tutorial, maybe add some things maybe add some things in Virtual Fighter 4 Evolution that's character specific, they would knock it out of the park as far as a fully fleshed out competitive game.
I agree.
Yeah, I can agree with that too. One of my
I don't-
biggest things for this new DOA game is I want them to keep this, if you want to pay for it, you can pay for it, or have a core fighters version for people that, are kind of on the fence about it, but just want to, try the game out. Because that's what actually got me into the series, was the fact that he told me, dude, all you got to do is just download core fighters. You get like 4 or 5 characters to start out with. So I'm like, okay, now you've got my attention.
Oh, there's something else I wanted to mention.
Go
It's
ahead.
probably gonna sound weird, but hear me out. Just hear me out. Let me cook. All right. We all know that Dead or Alive Extreme, the Dead or Alive Extreme series sells like hotcakes, right?
Yep.
What if they add the volleyball portion as a mini game, but it actually has a meaningful purpose to it, like getting unlockable bikinis and stuff like that, instead of selling it as instead of actually selling it as DLC. Fans of Dead or Alive Extreme can find something find something worthwhile there and try that out.
Yep. All for it. Because I actually love the Dead or Alive Extreme games. Not because of the fan service, but because the gameplay is actually fun and relaxing.
Yeah, like, I found that out too, because I actually owned Dead or Alive Extreme, I think it was 2 on the original Xbox, and no, that was the first game. But yeah, I owned that on Xbox, and I played it at a friend's house, and once we got over the fan service, we were like, you know what, this game's actually pretty fucking fun. So, having that built into a straight-up Dead or Alive game...
I know just the way they could pull that off in the story. Like in between the first and second tournament, there's gonna be a point where all the girls are somehow in Zack Island, right? And that's how you unlock the volleyball mini game. And from there, you can play to earn money, earn Zack dollars to collect swimsuits, and actually put it in your costume arsenal. And on top of that, they should bring back the lobby system from Dead or Alive 4, because that's exactly what Street Fighter 6 and Tekken 8 are kind of borrowing from.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Believe it or not, Dead or Alive 4 had a lobby system like Street Fighter 6.
I did not know that.
That is pretty cool.
Yeah, it was an avatar-based lobby system. They started that whole thing, and other games copied it too, like Dragon Ball Fighters. The what was it? Did Blaze Blue do that shit? I don't
Yep.
remember.
Yeah, and Cross Tag they did it. Yeah.
Okay,
To be
okay,
honest, I'm
Blaze.
not really a big fan of the avatar-based lobby systems. I find them a little bit clunky, but that's just my personal take on the matter.
Yeah,
No,
I
no lobby system is more clunky though than any Arc system fucking lobby system.
True. That is where I find the most egregious example of it.
and above all, that robot net code, that should be like a
Standardized
no-brainer.
at this point.
That should be a no-brainer.
Yeah,
No robot netcode has to be no robot netcode has to be top priority as far as online is concerned.
Yeah.
I agree. You know, I actually wouldn't be surprised if they do announce a Dead or Alive collection at this point in time.
Yeah, but they have to have
Just,
robot netcode on there from the jump, otherwise it's a waste.
I agree.
Otherwise,
But-
people will just drop that game, and I'm gonna give it 2 months at the most if it doesn't.
Agreed. Hopefully Tecmo are smart enough to realize they need rollback, because even Harada is realizing that it was required. So are there any kind of other things you guys think that Koei Tecmo may announce at this little event?
Besides further info on Rise of the Ronin,
Yeah.
maybe the Wolong DLC that's due like 5 days after the show. Not much else.
Wouldn't be surprised either if they do that. I also wouldn't be surprised if they announce some merchandise for
Maybe a
various
Fatal Frame
IP.
collection, but that's a that's a very, very hot take.
It is,
A Fatal Frame
but
collection? Yeah.
but it would,
yeah.
but it would be cool. But it would be very cool. I actually wouldn't be surprised if they announce various merchandise for the various properties that they've got as well. That would be something I could see.
Bit of a bold prediction on my part, but I would want to see a Ninja Gaiden collection with every single Ninja Gaiden game that came out before the ones that they ported over already, like Ninja Gaiden Sigma, Sigma 2, 3. Every single Ninja Gaiden game before that ported to modern consoles. I'd love to see it.
That would be
so
really cool.
You're talking about the NES era games.
Yeah, NES era. Because Ninja Gaiden 1 is on Switch Online, and I played a little bit of that. It's still as fun as I remember it.
You're cutting out.
Oh, my bad.
You're cutting out.
But I was saying, I played a little bit of Ninja Gaiden 1 on Nintendo Switch Online, and it's just as fun as I remember it. Because even though, yes, it is on a service, on a HD console, I feel no input lag, and I love it.
Nice. Is it as hard as people say it was?
It's
If you
challenging.
don't know what you're doing, yeah, it's gonna be hard at first.
Oh yeah.
My best advice is just to keep the spin slash as long as you can.
And
And Ninja Gaiden 2, keep the clones as long as you can.
with Ninja Gaiden, also, please, and I see people do this all the time, please look at what's coming from behind you, okay? Too many times I've seen people play Ninja Gaiden 1 or 2 or 3, and those quick little fuckers that are on all fours just skipping behind you, people keep getting knockback cycled by those things just because they don't check behind them. And yeah, so please check behind you, okay?
Good advice.
And always keep your eye out on the burbs.
I'm surprised we haven't heard mine.
Okay, I'll be right back. You two ramble on for a bit.
Okay, we will do that.
Definitely. So are there any kind of games that you're really looking forward to in general, just aside from the Tokyo Game Show stuff that we've discussed so far?
Okay, that really depends. There aren't many games I'm going to be playing besides TMNT Shredder's Revenge when the DLC comes out tomorrow. That's really it.
Fair enough.
Unless there's something I'm overlooking.
2 games that are coming out the rest of this year that I'm excited for. Spider-Man 2 and Eternites. And I'm getting the echo again.
I'm not hearing an echo.
Okay, it was probably just an issue on my end then. But yeah, those are the two games that I'm looking forward to, and I really need to play the Ninja Turtle game that you mentioned. Because I love that franchise. I love the Ninja Turtles in general.
Yeah.
That and Streets of Rage 4 is also great. The survival mode is very addictive. I'll tell you that straight up. But the survival mode is a DLC, so.
I've actually never played any beat 'em ups, really.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. He is going to get into Scott Pilgrim, though. Scott Pilgrim versus the World, which I'm looking forward to that. I love me some Streets of Rage 2, so Streets of Rage 4 is actually a great starting point if you want to get into Streets of Rage.
A little
Awesome.
too good a starting point.
Yeah.
Why is it too good a starting point?
A little too good a starting point. I mean, that the depth of this game is insane. I didn't know we were going to be getting off the ground moves and all that stuff.
Yeah, like you can bounce enemies off the ground and juggle them. You can bounce them off of walls and get them into a juggle combo.
And when you apply all those skills and start going into survival mode with the perks, it gets more insane. But you gotta be really careful not to get hit once you're past the level 30s, because they'll start dealing big damage, especially the red type enemies. Yeah, those are ones you really gotta watch out for.
Survival mode. That's the one that came as part of like the Mr. X DLC, wasn't it?
Yeah, the Mr. X Nightmare. So yeah, I'd call it survival mode.
That sounds really fun. I'll definitely want to
It's
check it out.
absurdly good.
So, is there anything else you guys wanted to kind of discuss before we wrap up?
Have any of y'all played Final Fantasy 16?
Not
Nope.
yet.
Okay, then I won't spoil anything.
Okay.
I don't even have a PS5. I just have a PS4.
Okay.
I have PS4, Xbox One, and I just got a Switch here recently.
I have a PS5 and a PC, and I hope to get the Switch successor when that gets announced.
There's a Switch successor coming out?
Yep.
Well, it's
How
rumored.
soon?
It's rumored.
Okay.
Apparently,
I thought it was something concrete.
Apparently, it got shown off today to journalists.
Oh, that's interesting. I'm guessing the innards are an upgrade of what came before.
I will get the link for you guys.
All right. Because
But
if it supports Unreal Engine 5, that's fucking awesome.
All I hope for is backwards compatibility with all regular Switch games, because I'm gonna accrue a fucking massive library, because I had one back in 2017, got rid of it in 2019, and I just got the system back. So I got 4 years worth of catching up to do.
But yeah, apparently it was revealed / shown off, which is pretty cool.
Okay. Keeping that in mind.
But that's why I'm holding off on getting a Switch, because I'm just like, yeah, if I buy it, they'll probably announce a day later that they have the successor coming out and it's fully backwards compatible.
I
Because
thought
that's just my kind of luck.
Even if they launch this new Switch 2, I don't see them releasing a Mario Kart 9 anytime soon, because for some reason its sales are still going strong, as well as the online. I was like, is the game really that good?
I will be sure to tell you, because this man right here is giving it to me as a birthday present, late birthday present, but still.
Yep.
So I'll be the judge of that, because I like me some Mario Kart.
I've always been a Crash Team Racing guy.
I like Crash Team Racing, but man, it ain't no fucking Mario Kart. I've been ruined.
See, I find that I prefer Crash Team Racing, always have, and while I enjoy Mario Kart, it's not as fun for me as Crash Team Racing.
I think you just prefer
I
Crash
like
in
Mario
general.
Kart, but my sister is probably way more well versed in it than I'll ever be.
In Mario Kart or Crash? Sorry, I didn't hear it.
Mario Kart in general.
Gotcha.
She loves the hell out of the series.
Nice.
I'm just now getting into Crash Team Racing after hearing about the latest remaster. That was a remaster, right? Not a sequel.
Yeah, it was
Okay.
a remake. It was a remake, not even a remaster. They
That
literally
drew my
built-
That drew my attention a while
They
back. So
That one included a remake of the original and tracks from Nitro Kart.
Okay.
which, by the way, I love those Nitro Kart tracks. That was one of my favorite racing games on the PS2 was Crash Nitro Kart.
Also, this is something that I found kind of interesting. Crash Team Racing, the original one, vastly influenced the design choices of Mario Kart afterwards.
Yeah, I did notice that, because Mario Kart afterwards, they implemented the mini turbo, and I'm like, oh, that's a cue from CTR.
Yeah.
I don't know why this suddenly popped into my head, but I had another thought regarding TGS. What if Square Enix suddenly announced Final Fantasy IX Remake out of nowhere?
Oh my
I would not be
god.
surprised by that. I would not be surprised.
I wouldn't either, and I would love
Really
it.
forgot about that shit.
I got the original here on my Switch, man, and I love it.
I have
RPGs
the
on this
original
system?
on... Go ahead.
Oh, I was just saying, RPGs on this system are great.
I have the original, but on the PS4. Haven't played it yet.
How far along are you in 9?
Haven't started.
Damn. Okay, never mind. Well, when you get to disc 4, let me know.
All right.
Actually,
will
no,
do.
wait. When you get to disc 3, let me know.
Okay.
All right.
Also, I know this will sound like a hot take, but I actually wouldn't be surprised if in the next couple years we see a Final Fantasy X remake.
Oh yeah, next couple of years, right after like right at the tail end of like right after they announced the third entry of the Final Fantasy VII remake. Yeah, we get a Final Fantasy X-3, and it's supposed tie into Final Fantasy VII because they share the same universe.
Yep. So is there anything else you guys want to cover, or have we about exhausted it?
The only thing that I would say is I hope Konami has some sort of presence at TGS, and yes, people, you can get on me now, but I want more Castlevania stuff, god damn it.
Yeah, a Netflix Castlevania game. Yeah, that would be nice.
Oh man, I already know so many
Make it more
people that
playable, damn
would, I already know so many people that would A, lose their shit over it, me and a bunch of other people, and B, absolutely despise it because they despise the fucking show. That show is so divisive. I didn't know it was as divisive as it is.
Season three really
It went off the fucking rails. It went off the rails
and
big
I
time.
know exactly why it happened too. The fact that I know exactly why it happened too just makes it all the more grating. I was like, okay, Warren Ellis did that shit out of spite. I was like, I didn't know he and Adi Shankar had creative differences.
Yeah, they did. They did.
I was
And
like, damn.
he literally went as crazy as he did in fucking season 3 out of spite.
I was like, yeah, no wonder 7 was no wonder 7 was like, what the hell is going on?
I've only watched a couple episodes of season 1.
What the fuck is going on? It was starting off so well, and then this shit happens.
I've only watched a couple episodes of season 1.
There's only 4 episodes in season 1, so you're about halfway through that season.
I'll have to restart because I started it so long ago I forgot what
You'll
happened.
love the first 2 seasons. I trust me on that. You'll love the first 2 seasons.
First 2 seasons are good. Well, for me,
season 3 is an acquired taste, and season 4 is like, holy moly, I loved it. Despite what happened in season 3, I still love how season 4 turned out.
yeah, season 4 was all right. For me, season 1 is fantastic. Half of season 2 is great, up until what happens in the castle. And then the rest of season 2 was Season 3 was, what the fuck is this shit? And then season 4 was like, okay, we're back to reality a little bit.
Awesome. So, thanks for coming on, guys. Hopefully we can do another podcast in the very near future.
All right.
Yeah, man. I'm available anytime. So, anytime you're ready, I'm down.
All right, so where can everyone find you? We'll start with the Mad Belmont, and then we'll move to Awesmic, and then I will close out the show.
All right, so you can find me over on my YouTube, The Mad Belmont. You can also find me on Twitter, Instagram, and Medium, okay? Mad Belmont everywhere, okay? Well, except for my Medium, it's my real name, but I have a publication on there that I made myself that's The Mad Belmont, so yeah.
And as for me, My YouTube channel is Awesmic1. My Facebook is also Awesmic1. My Twitter is Clay Osmic. And as far as I'm aware, these are all my social media findings.
Awesome. Thank you for coming on, guys. You can find links to their social media platforms. You can find links to my social media platforms in the description below, and I will link to the video that Awesmic alluded to earlier in the show when he sends me the link, because I feel that is very pertinent information for you guys. And a couple of my videos will be popping up on screen now. So, until next time, keep blazing that trail.